want to talk to you just a little bit about soft entry. We are engaged these days in military operations that are focused around peacemaking, stability operations, and reconstruction. This has been the foundation of the 1st Earth Battalion position for 30 years. We're now finally getting to the place where those things are the preoccupation of almost all the armies of the world. In short, now we have to enter villages that have been abused, have no water, don't feel heard, maybe there's some religious friction going on, but essentially any force that comes into a village from outside is an invader. So there's always this rough edge, and then when you add terrorism and IEDs and booby traps to the thing, moving into a village is the most difficult and important thing to get right that there is. Otherwise, lots of people get killed unnecessarily. We're going to focus on this a lot. And it brings me to a place where I want to cover with you, after having 5 rifle platoons and 319 days straight in combat, mostly moving through the forest and villages in search and destroy operations, which these days, you know, that kind of military mentality does not hold water for the most part, unless you're really in bad guy territory. And explain to you the primary things that have to happen for the leader. For instance, moving through places where you cannot see well, like through bushes and trees, the package of psychological correction, psi awareness, you know, extended sensory perception awareness, is the biggest way to avoid walking into a KZ, a killing zone. You get to a place where you feel something's going on, or you see that there's the likelihood of having everybody in an open space. You stop, you send people forward, you look around, you position certain kinds of weapons to cover the area while you then carefully move around it. During that time, the leader's situational awareness is in play. That means, does the leader see what's coming and get an evaluation for themselves about what's possible? For instance, it's possible to get ambushed. It's possible to get ambushed. It's also possible to avoid the ambush, and when you're doing that, it's also possible to protect your advance by positioning, say, your machine guns and your grenade launchers in the right place. What a really great leader does from our advanced toolkit of personal skills is mental rehearsal. This is something that was invented for athletes, by athletes. That is, to actually imagine the task, like shooting the basketball or throwing the javelin, in the mind a lot, and it actually increases the professional. You actually get a good rehearsal doing that. So along the way, when the leader sees he has to move across here, he's going to imagine what kind of battle might occur, and then what he would do to counter the battle. And oh, by the way, when he gets here, he has to do that again. It is very exhausting at the rifle platoon level to keep imagining the battle you're going to fight, but you have to do that. It is simpler in the desert where there's nothing but a road and nothing on either side of the road. But in situations where villagers and forest and open areas are in a mix, you need psi awareness, a bundle, situational awareness, and mental rehearsal, working one right after the other. Now, the same thing applies when moving into a village in a stability operation, peacemaking operation, or reconstruction operation. These villagers see you basically as somebody who comes in from outside. They are mixed usually with some people who have mixed feelings about whether you're good people or bad people, and they may be desperate in some cases. So, here's a type of operation where the platoon to come in uses a little teeny remote vehicle, you know, this size, with a projector on it, sends that in at night into the square and begins to play a DVD video projector on the side of a wall that shows what's going to happen the next day when the force comes in to give assistance. It has music in it that's the same music that will be played the next day, and it even has pictures of the force coming in, fixing the well, putting a water purifier, and these pipes that are going to fix the well are also shown in the movie. So these people have a complete advanced organizer of what's going to happen when this other force comes in. Then during the day of the operation, with that psychology handled, here come generally unarmed people with the tools obvious, with a white flag, maybe with animals, and definitely with the music, coming in a peaceful way. There is a vehicle here with a weapon on it pointed away as if it's protecting the force, but obviously sends a message to the villagers that if they decide to get ugly, these people do have some firepower support, and so it goes. This is then a soft entry. The communications with the village elders follow, and work projects go from there. So the soft psi entry into the village, in both cases, psi and psi, are important pieces of how we get in the peacemaking business and stay there. So just to go back to this business about why do we in the 1st Earth Battalion talk about paranormal, because we want to extend the sensitivity of our leaders out from where they are in all dimensions, visual, oral, scentic, etc., to give them a much better sense of how to prepare to go in peacefully, do the job, and come out peacefully. Go Planet.